Lena Carver, bloodied and trembling, stands in a trashed Los Angeles hotel room staring at a TV screen blaring, "Pilot suspended after FAA probe." It's a hollow win, hours after she thought she'd crushed Captain Victor Grayson's racism and negligence on a flight from Dallas to LA. But Grayson's smug face cuts in, vowing, "This isn't over." A brick smashes her window, a note screaming, "You're dead, Carver." A seat dispute has ignited a war she never saw coming. How far will this battle rage? Before we dive in, let us know where you're watching from. And if you stand for justice against prejudice, hit like and subscribe for more epic showdowns. Lena Carver strides through the sprawling chaos of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, her heels clicking against the gleaming tile floor, a stark contrast to the muffled roar of jet engines outside. At 35, she's a force of nature, an aerospace engineer with a mind sharper than a razor and a reputation for dismantling sloppy safety standards. Her tailored suit, a deep navy number with a subtle pinstripe, hugs her frame, the fabric crisp despite the oppressive Texas heat. 92 degrees Fahrenheit and climbing. She clutches a sleek leather satchel, her lifeline of notes and tech, as she weaves past harried travelers. A mom wrangling two screaming toddlers, a guy in a cowboy hat barking into his phone, a cluster of college kids hauling overstuffed backpacks. Her destination is American Airlines Flight 819 to Los Angeles, where she's due for a critical FAA meeting tomorrow morning. She glances at her watch, 7:45 p.m., plenty of time before the 9 p.m. departure. Her ticket, first class. Seat 3A is a rare indulgence, a nod to the grueling months she's spent crisscrossing the country, auditing airlines and manufacturers alike. She's earned this sliver of comfort, and she's damn well going to enjoy it. The terminal buzzes with life, overhead screens flashing updates, voices crackling through speakers about delays and gate changes. Lena's gate, C12, looms ahead, a beacon amid the storm of humanity. She adjusts her satchel, feeling the weight of her laptop inside, and lets her eyes sweep the scene. A young woman in a hijab fumbles with her boarding pass. An elderly man in a wheelchair waits patiently for assistance. A businessman in a three-piece suit sips a whiskey at the bar nearby. It's a tapestry of stories, each thread tugging at Lena's curiosity, a habit honed from years of piecing together mechanical failures and human errors. She loves airports, the promise of motion, the collision of lives in transit. Today, though, her focus is singular. Get to LA. Nail the meeting. Push for stricter engine maintenance regs. Simple. Or so she thinks. She reaches the gate, the sign above confirming Flight 819 to Los Angeles on time. The boarding area is a mix of polished professionals and casual flyers, some tapping away on laptops, others scrolling phones with glazed expressions. Lena slides into line, her boarding pass already out, the barcode crisp on the paper. The gate agent, a wiry guy with a buzz cut and a tired smile, scans it with a beep, nodding her through. She steps onto the jet bridge, the air cooling as she nears the plane, a Boeing 737-800, its hull gleaming under the tarmac lights. Inside, the cabin hums with pre-flight energy, flight attendants bustling, passengers jockeying for overhead space. Lena spots her seat, 3A, a plush window spot in first class, and feels a flicker of satisfaction. She's traveled enough to know the drill, but this little luxury still sparks a thrill. As she settles in, stowing her satchel under the seat, she catches a figure moving in her peripheral vision. Captain Victor Grayson, 52, broad-shouldered and grizzled, strides down the aisle from the cockpit, his pilot's uniform pristine, gold stripes glinting on his sleeves. His hair, peppered with gray, hints at decades in the sky, 20,000 flight hours logged, a career built on precision and authority. He's barking something at a flight attendant, a petite woman with a tight bun, who nods quickly and scurries off. Grayson's eyes, sharp and cold, scan the first-class cabin, a routine check or so it seems. Then they land on Lena. His stride falters just for a split second, and his lip curls, a twitch so subtle most would miss it. He mutters under his breath to the attendant trailing him, "Who let her up here?" The words are low, but Lena's close enough to catch them, her stomach tightening like a coiled spring. She's heard worse, felt worse, but the sting never dulls. She keeps her cool, unzipping her satchel to pull out her laptop, her fingers steady despite the heat rising in her chest. Grayson doesn't let it go. He pivots, his boots thudding against the carpeted floor, and looms over her seat, his shadow, swallowing the light from the overhead bin. "Boarding pass," he snaps, his voice clipped, a demand wrapped in disdain. Lena looks up, meeting his gaze, her brown eyes unflinching. "I already showed it at the gate," she says, her tone even professional, a shield she's perfected over years of navigating rooms where she's the only black woman. He doesn't budge, his meaty hand outstretched, impatience radiating, off him like steam. "Now," he adds, the word a growl. She exhales, slow and deliberate, and reaches into her blazer pocket, retrieving the slip of paper. She hands it over, her movements precise, controlled. Grayson snatches it, his fingers brushing hers with a roughness that's deliberate. He studies it, eyes narrowing as if hunting for a flaw, a forgery, anything to prove his gut right. The barcode's there, the seat number clear as day, 3A, paid in full. He grunts, a sound thick with contempt, and tosses it back, the paper fluttering onto her lap. "People like you always try to sneak in," he says, his voice dropping low, meant for her ears alone, though the venom carries. Lena's jaw tightens, but she doesn't flinch. She's faced this before, the assumption she doesn't belong, the unspoken rules of spaces like this. Around them, passengers shift uncomfortably. A white guy in 4B, suit rumpled from a long day, smirks into his drink, amused by the showdown. A woman in 2C, pearls gleaming at her throat, glances over with a mix of curiosity and pity. Lena feels their eyes, a spotlight she's learned to ignore. She straightens the boarding pass, smoothing it against her thigh, and looks up at Grayson. "I paid for this seat, Captain," she says, her voice steady, a quiet blade slicing through his bluster. "Same as everyone else here." It's a statement, not a plea, and it lands like a punch. Grayson's face hardens, his cheeks flushing a faint red beneath the gray stubble. He doesn't respond, not with words. His eyes bore into her, a promise of something darker, a reckoning she can't yet name. He turns, his shoulders rigid, and stalks back to the cockpit, the door slamming shut behind him with a thud that echoes through the cabin. The flight attendant, Tara, hovers nearby, her lips parting as if to apologize, but she thinks better of it and moves on, leaving Lena alone with the weight of that glare. The cabin settles, the hum of pre-flight chatter resuming, but the air feels thicker now, charged with an unspoken tension. Lena opens her laptop, the screen glowing to life, and pulls up her notes for the FAA meeting. She tries to focus, her fingers hovering over the keys, but her mind replays Grayson's words, his tone, the way he'd sized her up and found her wanting. She's no stranger to this, the micro-cuts of racism that bleed you slow. She's built a career in a field where she's often the only one who looks like her, a black woman with a master's from MIT, a resume stacked with patents and safety overhauls. She's grounded planes before, metaphorically, with her audits, but this feels different, personal. She glances out the window, the tarmac stretching into the dusk, ground crew scurrying like ants under the floodlights. The plane's engines whine as they spool up, a low rumble vibrating through her seat. She tells herself to let it go, to chalk it up to another petty bigot she'll outlast. She's got bigger fights ahead, like the FAA push for new engine standards, a battle she's been prepping for months. This flight's just a blip, a 3-hour hop to LA, nothing more. But deep down, a flicker of unease stirs. Grayson's not done with her. She can feel it, a storm brewing behind that cockpit door. She shakes it off, or tries to, and dives into her work, the glow of her screen a shield against the memory of his sneer. The plane jerks as it begins to taxi, the captain's voice crackling over the intercom, clipped and formal. "Flight attendants, prepare for departure." No warmth, no welcome, just the bare minimum. Lena's fingers pause on her keyboard, her ears pricking at the edge in his tone. She knows pilots, knows their rhythms, their tells. Grayson's rattled, and she's the reason. She leans back, buckling her seatbelt with a soft click, and stares at the seatback in front of her, the fabric worn from countless hands. She's not here to make enemies, but she won't shrink either. Not for him. Not for anyone. The plane picks up speed, the runway blurring past her window, and she braces herself, not just for takeoff, but for whatever Grayson's got brewing. She's ready. Or so she thinks. The Boeing 737-800 lurches into the sky above Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, its engines roaring as it climbs through the thick, humid night air, the temperature still hovering at a sticky 88 degrees Fahrenheit even after sunset. Inside the first-class cabin, Lena Carver sits in seat 3A, her laptop open, her fingers poised over the keys, but her mind's elsewhere, replaying Captain Victor Grayson's venomous words from 30 minutes ago. People like you always try to sneak in. The plane levels off at 35,000 feet, the city lights shrinking to pinpricks below, and she tries to shake it off, diving into her FAA notes. She's got a meeting in LA to prep for, a chance to push for tighter safety regs, and she won't let some bigot derail her focus. But then it happens, a sound that snaps her back to the present, a low, grinding hum rattling through the cabin, faint at first, then sharper, like metal scraping metal. Her engineer's ear perks up, her pulse quickening. She knows planes, knows their quirks, and this isn't turbulence, this is trouble. She glances around, gauging the cabin. The guy in 4B, the smirker from earlier, sips his bourbon, oblivious. The Pearl lady in 2C adjusts her reading glasses, frowning at her novel. No one else seems to notice, or maybe they don't care. Lena's different, though. Her years at MIT, her decade dissecting aircraft failures, they've wired her to catch what others miss. She leans toward the window, peering into the dark, but the wing's too far to see clearly. The grinding pulses again, a jagged rhythm that sets her teeth on edge. Is it a loose bearing? A hydraulic glitch? She can't tell from here, but she knows it's not right. She flags down Tara, the flight attendant with the tight bun, who's weaving through the aisle with a tray of water glasses. "Hey," Lena whispers, keeping her voice low. "You hear that noise? It's not normal." Tara pauses, tilting her head, but the hum fades for a moment, masked by the engine's steady drone. "Probably just turbulence," she says, her smile thin, rehearsed. Lena's not buying it. "I'm an aerospace engineer," she presses, sliding her FAA badge from her blazer pocket, the silver glinting under the cabin lights. "Can you check with the cockpit?" Tara's eyes widen a fraction, caught off guard, but she nods, scurrying toward the front. Lena watches her go, her gut twisting. She's not one to cry wolf, but she's grounded planes before over less, and she's not about to sit quiet while something's off. What's Grayson doing up there? Ignoring it? She imagines him in the cockpit, smug and untouchable, his 20,000 flight hours a shield against doubt. The thought stokes her anger, but she keeps it locked down, her face a mask of calm. Tara's gone maybe 2 minutes when the intercom crackles, Grayson's voice booming through the cabin, sharp and pointed. "Folks, stay in your assigned seats, no wandering." The words land like a slap, the emphasis on assigned, a clear jab at Lena. Passengers shift, a few glancing her way, but she doesn't flinch, her eyes narrowing. He's taunting her, daring her to push back. Does he think she'll just shrink? Take his crap and smile? The grinding kicks up again, louder now, a metallic groan that vibrates through her seat. She clenches the armrest, her knuckles whitening. This isn't her imagination, it's real, and it's getting worse. Tara reappears, her face tighter than before. "Captain says it's fine," she murmurs, avoiding Lena's gaze. "Just some wind." Lena's jaw drops, incredulous. "Wind doesn't sound like that," she snaps, her voice still low but edged with steel. "Tell him to check the flaps now." Tara hesitates, caught between Lena's urgency and the cockpit's authority, but she nods again, disappearing, back toward the front. Lena's mind races, running through possibilities. A stuck actuator, a failing servo, something in the wing's mechanics giving way. She's seen it before. Audited planes pulled from service for less. Why's Grayson brushing this off? Is it pride or something uglier? The cabin door swings open, and there he is, Captain Victor Grayson, storming down the aisle, his broad frame filling the space, his face a thundercloud. Passengers hush, sensing the brewing storm. He stops at 3A, towering over Lena, his arms crossed, his gray-streaked hair catching the light. "What's your problem, princess?" he barks, loud enough for the whole cabin to hear. "You're meddling in my flight." Lena meets his glare, unflinching, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "There's a noise in the wing," she says, "and I'm telling you it's not turbulence. I'm FAA. I know what I'm hearing." He laughs, a short, bitter sound that drips with contempt. "FAA, huh? You don't belong here on this plane or in my world. Sit down and let me do my job." The words hit like a fist, raw and racial, stripping away any pretense. Passengers gasp, the guy in 4B choking on his drink, the Pearl lady clutching her book. Lena's blood boils, but she keeps it tight, controlled. "Check the flaps," she repeats, "or you're risking every life on board." Grayson's face twists, a snarl forming, but before he can fire back the grinding spikes, a harsh screech that makes the whole plane shudder. A kid in coach cries out, a woman gasps, and even Grayson flinches. His Bravado 10A buzzes with shock. He spins back to the cockpit, his boots slamming the floor, leaving Lena sitting there, her warning ringing in the silence. She doesn't move, doesn't gloat, just watches him go, her mind racing. What's he hiding up there? Is he too stubborn to listen? Or does he want this to blow up in her face? In the cockpit, unseen by the cabin, co-pilot Mike stares at a flickering warning light, a flap malfunction alert blinking red. He swallows hard, his hands hovering over the controls. "Sir," he starts, his voice shaky. "She might be—" Grayson cuts him off, whirling on him. "Don't you dare side with her," he snarls, his finger jabbing the air. "I've got this." Mike shrinks back, young and green, his 3,000 hours no match for Grayson's clout. The light blinks faster, a silent scream, but Grayson turns away, his pride a wall nothing's breaking through. Not yet. Lena leans back in her seat, her breath steadying, her eyes locked on the cockpit door. She's rattled him. She can feel it. But at what cost? She's not just fighting a machine now. She's fighting a man who'd rather crash than admit she's right. What kind of pilot puts ego over lives? The cabin buzzes with whispers, eyes darting between her and the front, the tension thick enough to choke on. She grips her laptop, her lifeline, and wonders how far Grayson will take this. Will he double down, or will the plane force his hand? Hey folks, what do you think? Comment number 1 if you're raging at Grayson's arrogance, number 2 if you're rooting for Lena to shut him down. If you're hooked on this fight for justice, smash that like button and subscribe for the next twist. Will Grayson's pride crash this flight, or will Lena's smarts save the day? Stick around to find out. What's his next move gonna be? The Boeing 737-800 cruises at 35,000 feet, slicing through the night sky somewhere over New Mexico, the air outside a frigid minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside, the first-class cabin hums with a fragile calm, passengers sipping, drinks flipping through magazines, the earlier grinding noise fading into memory for most. Lena Carver, in seat 3A, keeps her eyes on her laptop, her fingers tapping out notes for her FAA meeting, but her ears stay sharp, tuned to the plane's every creak. She's still simmering from Captain Victor Grayson's racist outburst 30 minutes ago, his "you don't belong here" echoing in her skull. She's trying to focus, to let it go, when the grinding returns, louder, angrier, a metallic wail that shakes the floor beneath her feet. The plane lurches, a sharp dip that sends bourbon sloshing in 4B's glass, and a yelp from the Pearl lady in 2C. Oxygen masks drop from the ceiling with a soft thud, dangling like yellow ghosts, and the cabin erupts in screams. Lena's heart slams against her ribs, but she's moving before she thinks, unbuckling her seatbelt with a flick. Across the aisle, an elderly woman in 1C, her hair a snowy puff, fumbles with her mask, her hands trembling, her breath shallow. Lena's at her side in 2 steps, kneeling in the tight space, her voice steady despite the chaos. "Here, let me," she says, guiding the mask over the woman's face, securing the straps. "Breathe slow. You're okay." The woman nods, her eyes wide with gratitude, clutching Lena's arm like a lifeline. The plane shudders again, a violent jolt that throws Lena against the seat back, her shoulder banging hard. She grits her teeth, scanning the cabin. Passengers are panicking, some clawing at their masks, others frozen, staring at the ceiling as if it'll split open. She spots it then, out her window, a loose panel on the wing flapping wildly, its edges glinting in the moonlight. Her engineers. Brain kicks into overdrive, structural failure, maybe a blown rivet, and it's getting worse. The intercom crackles, Grayson's voice cutting through the din, harsh and commanding. "Back to your seat, 3A. Everyone stay put." It's aimed at her, a bullseye of blame, and it stokes her fury. She's not the problem here. He is. She waves down Tara, the flight attendant, who's staggering up the aisle, her bun unraveling, her face pale. "That panel," Lena says, pointing out the window, her voice urgent but controlled. "It's coming apart. Tell the cockpit now." Tara's eyes dart to the wing, then back to Lena, fear flashing across her features. She nods, stumbling toward the front, her tray of water glasses long abandoned. Lena steadies herself against the seat, her mind racing. How long's that panel been loose? Why didn't Grayson catch it? The plane dips again, a stomach-churning drop, and a kid in coach wails, the sound piercing through the chaos. She's not waiting for him to ignore this. Tara's barely gone 10 seconds when the cockpit door bangs open, Grayson charging out, like a bull, his face a mask of rage, his uniform jacket unbuttoned, sweat beading on his brow. He barrels straight for Lena, stopping inches from her, his breath hot and sour. "You're causing a damn riot," he roars, his voice booming over the screams. "Sit down before I have you restrained." The cabin falls into a stunned hush, passengers gaping, the guy in 4B leaning forward, eyes gleaming with morbid curiosity. Lena stands her ground, her 5'7" frame dwarfed by his bulk, but her spine steel. "Check the wing," she fires back, her tone ice-cold, cutting through his bluster. "It's failing, and you're too busy yelling to notice." His eyes widen, a flicker of doubt, but it's swallowed by fury. "Know your place," he snarls, his hand shooting out, shoving her hard against her seat. She stumbles, catching herself on the armrest, pain flaring in her chest where his palm hit. The shove ignites a spark in the cabin, a woman in 2A gasping, "Hey!" while the Pearl Lady mutters something under her breath. Lena's blood pounds in her ears, but she doesn't swing back, doesn't give him the satisfaction. She straightens, locking eyes with him, her voice low and lethal. "You're risking every life here. Look outside." Grayson's jaw clenches, his fist balling. But before he can retort, co-pilot Mike's voice crackles through the open cockpit door, tinny and urgent over the radio static. "Captain, flap malfunction confirmed. We're losing control." The words hang in the air, a guillotine dropping. Grayson's head snaps toward the front, his bravado cracking, and for a split second, Lena sees panic in his eyes. He spins, shoving past Tara, who's frozen mid-aisle, and storms back to the cockpit, barking, "Handle it, Mike!" Lena exhales, her knees trembling but her resolve ironclad. She slides back into 3A, her eyes on the window, the panel still flapping, tearing wider with every shudder. The plane levels out, a shaky recovery, the masks swaying unused as the screams taper to whimpers. Grayson's voice comes over the intercom again, gruff but strained. "Folks, minor issue, under control, stay seated." It's a lie, or half, of one, and Lena knows it. She catches Tara's eye as the attendant passes, her face a mix of guilt and relief. "He adjusted the flaps," Tara whispers, barely audible. "You were right." Lena nods, her lips a tight line. She saved them, forced his hand, but the victory's hollow. Grayson's not done, not by a long shot. He's humiliated now, a caged animal, and she's the one who rattled his bars. In the cockpit, Grayson slumps into his seat, his hands shaking. As he grips the yoke, the flap warning light still blinking, though dimmer now. Mike, 28 and wiry, stares at him, his voice low. "She knew, sir. We could've." Grayson cuts him off, his growl feral. "She's done," he says, his eyes narrowing to slits. "That little stunt? She'll pay for it. Mike blinks, swallowing hard, his hands hovering over the controls. He's seen Grayson's temper, but this is different. Personal, a vendetta taking root. The plane steadies, the grinding muted for now, but the air's thick with unspoken threats. Grayson's mind churns, plotting, his pride a festering wound. He's got buddies on the ground, ways to twist this, to make her the villain. She thinks she's won. She's got no idea what's coming. Lena leans back in her seat, her shoulder throbbing where he shoved her, her chest tight from the impact. She pulls her laptop closer, but her hands hover, useless, her focus shattered. The cabin's quieter now, passengers settling, some whispering, about the crazy lady in 3A who stood up to the captain. The guy in 4B shoots her a look, half respect, half disdain, while the elderly woman in 1C mouths a silent, "Thank you." Lena nods, her throat dry. She's no hero, just a woman who knows her stuff, who won't let a plane fall apart because some jerk's too proud to listen. But Grayson's words, "Know your place," burn in her gut, a racist dagger she can't unhear. What's he planning now? She's seen his type, men who'd rather burn it all down than lose face. The plane drones on, the wing holding for now, but she's not naive. This isn't over. She glances out the window again, the panel, still visible, a jagged tear in the moonlight. Her mind ticks through the math. Stress fractures, wind shear, a few more hours to LA. It'll hold maybe, but it shouldn't have to. Grayson's negligence, his refusal to listen, it's a ticking bomb, and she's the one who lit the fuse. She clenches her fists, her nails digging into her palms. She's faced down CEOs, grounded fleets, but this feels raw, visceral, a fight she didn't pick. The cabin lights dim, the flight stretching into the night, and she knows she's in deeper than she planned. Grayson's not just a pilot, he's a threat, and she's his target. The plane hums, a fragile piece, but her gut screams, the worst is yet to come. The Boeing 737-800 touches down at Los Angeles International Airport just past midnight, the runway lights streaking past Lena Carver's window in seat 3A, the air outside a cool 62 degrees Fahrenheit after the desert heat of the flight. The plane's engines wind down, the cabin still buzzing with the aftershocks of the mid-flight chaos. The grinding wing, the oxygen masks, the screams. Lena's shoulder aches where Captain Victor Grayson shoved her 2 hours ago. Her chest, bruised from his palm, but she's steady, packing her laptop into her satchel with deliberate calm. Passengers around her are shaken but alive, some throwing her grateful glances, others whispering about the troublemaker who dared challenge the captain. The elderly woman in 1C pats her hand as she stands, a silent thank you, while the guy in 4B avoids her gaze, his bourbon long gone. The plane taxis to gate 47, the jet bridge locking into place with a thud, and Lena rises, ready to escape this flying hellbox and make her FAA meeting in 8 hours. She's done her part, saved the day, or so she thinks. The cabin, door swings open and passengers shuffle out, a mix of relief and exhaustion in their steps. Lena's near the front, her satchel slung over her good shoulder, when Captain Grayson's voice cuts through the hum, low and oily, directed at the ground crew waiting outside. "That woman in 3A incited panic," he says, his tone dripping with authority, "nearly crashed us with her stunts." Lena freezes, her breath catching as 2 airport security guards, burly guys in navy polos, pivot toward her, their radios crackling. "Ma'am," one says, his voice flat, "step aside, we need to talk." The other passengers part like water, some gawking, others hurrying past, the pearl lady in 2C clutching her purse tighter. Lena's gut twists, but she complies, moving to the jet bridge's edge, her mind racing. What's he pulling now? She's the one who spotted the wing flaw, forced his hand, and he's spinning it against her. The guards flank her, their faces stone, and the taller one, badge reading Martinez, speaks. "You're accused of disrupting flight operations, causing a disturbance mid-air." Lena's jaw drops, her voice rising despite her effort to stay cool. "Disrupting? I reported a structural failure saved this plane." Martinez shrugs, unmoved, while his partner, a stocky guy with a buzz cut, scans her with cold eyes. "Captains, Word says otherwise, he mutters, and we've got orders. Before she can argue, a third figure steps in, a wiry man in a suit, his American Airlines badge gleaming. Holt, operations supervisor. He's got Grayson's build, same graying hair, same smug tilt to his mouth. She tampered with equipment. Too, Holt adds, his voice smooth, rehearsed. Check her bag. Lena's blood runs cold. Tampered? She's an engineer, not a saboteur. Martinez snatches her satchel, unzipping it with a rough tug, and digs through her laptop, notebooks, pens. Then he pauses, his hand emerging with a wrench, 8 inches long, its steel glinting under the jet bridge lights. This yours? He asks, holding it up like a trophy. Lena's stomach plummets, her breath hitching. No, she says, her voice firm but shaking inside. That's not mine, I don't carry tools. Holt smirks, folding his arms. Funny how it's in your bag then. Looks like you were messing with the plane. The lie's so blatant it's dizzying, and she spots Grayson lingering near the cockpit door, his eyes locked on her, a faint grin curling his lips. He planted it, or had Holt do it, she's sure of it. This isn't just revenge, it's a setup, and it's working. Passengers stream past, some craning their necks, others whispering. She's the one who yelled at the captain. A woman, in a red coat, murmurs. Thought she was a hero. The guy from 4B grunts, shaking his head. Lena's chest tightens, her hands clenching at her sides. She's being framed, her heroism twisted into a crime, and Grayson's playing it like a maestro. Martinez nods to his partner. Cuff her, we're taking her in. The cold metal snaps around her wrists, biting into her skin, and she bites, back a protest, knowing it'll only make her look guilty. I'm FAA, she says instead, her voice steady, pulling her badge from her blazer with her bound hands. This is a mistake. Holt snorts, waving it off. Tell it to the cops, sweetheart. They haul her through the terminal, her heels dragging against the polished floor, travelers staring as she's marched past coffee shops and newsstands. She's missing her FAA meeting now, her phone buzzing uselessly in her pocket, her satchel confiscated as evidence. The guards shove her into a cramped security office near baggage claim, a gray box with a flickering fluorescent light and a metal table bolted to the floor. Martinez uncuffs her, tossing her into a chair, while Holt leans against the wall, his smirk unwavering. You're in deep, he says, cracking his knuckles. Captain Grayson's got 20,000 hours, spotless record. You, some loudmouth who thinks she's special. Lena's jaw tightens, her mind spinning. Spotless. She's audited enough pilots to know that's a lie, but she's got no proof here, no leverage. She sits there, the clock ticking past 1 a.m., her shoulder throbbing, her mind racing through options. She could call her FAA contact Jamal, but her phone's in her bag, out of reach. She could demand a lawyer, but they'd stall her, let Grayson's story solidify. The wrench gnaws at her, a perfect plant, small enough to slip in unnoticed during the flight chaos. How'd he do it? Tara? No, she'd been shaken, not complicit. One of his ground crew pals, maybe, when she'd helped the elderly woman. It doesn't matter now, she's the one locked up, and Grayson's out there, free, gloating. She imagines him in the crew lounge, spinning his tale to Holt, painting her as a lunatic who endangered everyone. The thought fuels her, sharpens her focus. She's not done, not by a long shot. The door creaks open and a cop steps in, a lanky guy with a notepad, his badge reading Officer Reed. Lena Carver? He asks, flipping a page. She nods, sitting straighter. That's me. He scribbles something, then looks up. Captain says you incited a panic, tampered with the plane. Wrench backs him up. What's your side? Lena takes a breath, her voice calm, precise. I'm an aerospace engineer, FAA consultant. I reported a wing panel failure mid-flight, forced the captain to adjust the flaps. Saved the plane. He's framing me because I called him out. Reed's eyebrow lifts, but his face stays neutral. Big claim, he says, jotting more notes. Got proof? She gestures to her confiscated bag. My badge, my laptop, flight logs if you pull them. Check the wing, it's damaged. Reed nods, slow, then steps out, leaving her with Holt, who's still smirking like he's won the lottery. "Good luck with that," he says, tapping the wrench on the table. "Captain's got friends, you've got nothing." Lena stares him down, her eyes burning. Friends, huh? She's got friends too, and a hell of a lot more fight. The clock hits 1:30 a.m., her meeting slipping further away, her career teetering on this lie. She's not just detained, she's a scapegoat, and Grayson's banking on her crumbling. But she's built tougher than that, forged in boardrooms and hangars where men like him tried to break her and failed. The door's still shut, Reed's gone, and she's alone with Holt's taunts, but her mind's already working, plotting her next move. Grayson thinks he's crushed her. He's about to learn how wrong he is. Outside, Grayson leans against a crew van, the tarmac air cool on his face, his grin widening as Holt texts him. "She's locked up, wrench worked." He chuckles, a low, guttural sound, his 20,000 hours a shield he sure won't crack. He's got Holt, the airline, the system in his pocket. Lena's a nobody, a thorn he's plucked, or so he believes. The plane sits at the gate, its wing panels still torn, a silent witness to his negligence, but he's not worried. He's got a story, a wrench, and a plan to bury her. The night stretches on, LA's lights glittering beyond the runway, and he lights a cigarette, savoring the win. It's not over, not yet, but he's ahead, and that's all that matters. Lena Carver sits in the cramped security office at Los Angeles International Airport, the clock on the wall ticking past 2 a.m. The air stale and heavy at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Her wrists ache from the cuffs, now off, her shoulder throbbing from Captain Victor Grayson's mid-flight shove, and her satchel sits confiscated on a shelf, the planted wrench gleaming like a taunt. She's locked in this gray box, accused of disrupting Flight 819 and tampering with the plane, a frame-up orchestrated by Grayson and his crony, Holt, the operations supervisor. The fluorescent light buzzes overhead, casting harsh shadows on the metal table where she rests her elbows, her mind a whirlwind of fury and strategy. She's missed her FAA meeting, her career's on the line, and Grayson's out there, free, spinning his lies. But Lena's not breaking. Not yet. She's faced worse, stared down execs who thought she'd fold, and she's still standing. She just needs a crack, a way out. The door's locked. Holt's gone to gloat with Grayson, and Officer Reed, the lanky cop, hasn't returned since taking her statement 30 minutes ago. She's got one call, standard procedure, and she knows who to dial. Jamal Pierce, her FAA mentor, a 42-year-old ex-pilot with a nose for digging up dirt. Her phone's in her bag, out of reach, but she's not helpless. She scans the room, spotting a landline on the wall, its cord dangling just within arm's length. She stands, wincing as her bruised chest protests and stretches, snagging the receiver. No dial tone, damn it. But she punches Jamal's number anyway. Muscle memory from years of late-night crisis calls. It rings, faint and staticky, and he picks up on the third, his voice groggy but sharp. "Lena, where you at?" She keeps it, tight, her words clipped. "LAX, detained. Grayson framed me, planted a wrench. Dig into his record, fast." Jamal's silent a beat, then, "On it. Hang tight." The line cuts, and she drops back into the chair, her pulse steadying. He'll find something he always does. She's alone maybe 10 minutes when a shadow moves outside the door's frosted glass, a soft shuffle of footsteps. The lock clicks, and Tara, the flight attendant from the plane, slips in, her bun loose, her eyes darting like a cornered deer. She's clutching a burner phone, a cheap flip model, and thrusts it at Lena, her hands trembling. "Take it," she whispers, her voice barely audible. "I heard Grayson and Holt, they threatened me, said I'd lose my job if I didn't back their story." Lena grabs the phone, her fingers closing around the plastic, her mind racing. "You're sure?" she asks, searching Tara's face. The woman nods, tears welling. "He shoved you, ignored the wing. I saw it all. I can't let them do this." Lena's chest tightens, not from the bruise, but from a flicker of hope. Tara's risking everything, a witness in her corner, and it's a lifeline she won't waste. She flips the phone open, its screen glowing dim, and logs into X, her fingers flying over the tiny keys. She's got 50,000 followers. Industry, folks, activists, a network built from years of calling out negligence. Her post is short, brutal. Detained at LAX, framed by Captain Victor Grayson, American Airlines Flight 819. Planted wrench, ignored wing failure, I reported. FAA engineer black woman targeted, proof coming. She attaches a blurry photo of the wrench, snapped when Martinez held it up, and hits send. The tweet explodes, retweets spiking within minutes, hashtags like Justice for Lena and Try a Racist Pilot. Trending as the night owls catch wind. She scrolls, her breath catching as strangers pile on. This is insane. Grayson's a disgrace. Protesters start gathering outside the terminal, their chants filtering through the walls. A distant roar growing louder. She's viral, a spark igniting a firestorm, and it's working. The door bangs open, Martinez storming in, his face red, radio crackling with orders. "What the hell did you do?" he snaps, spotting the phone. Lena stands, meeting his glare, her voice ice. "Told the truth. Check X." He hesitates, then glances at Tara, who shrinks back, her hands twisting. The chants outside swell. "Let her go! Let her go!" And Martinez's jaw tightens, his control slipping. His partner, the buzz-cut guard, pokes his head in. "Crowd's at 100, boss. Cops are swamped." Martinez curses, low and vicious, then grabs Lena's arm, yanking her toward the door. "You're out," he growls, "but this ain't over." They march her through the terminal, past gawking travelers, the protesters' signs flashing in the windows. "No racism in the sky!" She's free, the cuffs off, the air hitting her face as they shove her outside, but it's a hollow win. Her satchel's still inside, her meeting's toast, and Grayson's not done. She's barely 10 steps into the crowd, their cheers washing over her, when a cop car screeches up, lights blazing, tires smoking on the pavement. 2 officers leap out, a beefy guy with a mustache and a wiry woman with a ponytail, their hands on their holsters. "Lena Carver," the guy barks, his voice cutting through the noise. She nods, her stomach sinking. "You're under arrest," he says, pulling cuffs from his belt. "Assault on Captain Grayson, mid-flight." The crowd gasps, boos erupting, phones filming as the cuffs snap back on, tighter this time, biting into her wrists. Lena's head spins, her breath shallow. Assault? She didn't touch him, he shoved her. Tara saw it. She twists, spotting Grayson across the tarmac, leaning against a crew van, his grin wide and feral. He's flipped it again, turned her jailbreak into a new trap, and it's worse, a felony charge that could bury her. The cops haul her to the car, the crowd surging, some shoving at the officers, others screaming her name. "I'm innocent," she yells, her voice raw, but the door slams shut, muffling the chaos. Inside, the mustache cop drives, the woman scribbling in a notepad, neither meeting her eyes. "He's lying," Lena says, her tone steady despite the panic clawing her chest. "Check the flight, the witnesses." The woman glances back, her face blank. "Captain filed a report, says you attacked him when he tried to calm the panic." Lena's fists clench, her nails digging into her palms. He's got no shame, no limit, and she's the one paying. The car peels out, the airport shrinking behind her, and she leans back, her mind racing. Jamal's digging, Tara's on her side. The public's raging. She's got a shot, but it's slim, and Grayson's swinging harder than ever. Across the tarmac, Grayson lights another cigarette, the ember glowing as he watches the cop car vanish. Holt claps his shoulder, chuckling. "Assault charge? Genius, Vic." Grayson exhales, smoke curling into the night. "She's done," he says, his voice a low rumble. "No one will believe her now." He's wrong, though. The X-storm's growing, Jamal's pulling files, and Lena's not breaking. She's in a cell again, a real one this time, the clang of bars echoing as the cops lock her in downtown LA, but her fight's just starting. She sits on the cot, her bruised shoulder screaming, and stares at the wall, her resolve hardening. Grayson's got the upper hand, but she's got the truth, and it's a weapon he can't outrun. Not yet. Hey folks, what's your take on this twist? Comment number 1 if you're furious Grayson's framing Lena again. Number 2, if you think Tara's courage is the real MVP here. Should Lena have stayed quiet, or is she right to fight back? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're rooting for her comeback, and subscribe to catch every second of this showdown. Grayson's piling on the lies, but can Lena turn the tide from behind bars? What's her next play gonna be? Lena Carver sits in a stark Los Angeles courtroom, the air chilled to a crisp 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the clock above the judge's bench ticking toward 10 a.m. It's been 8 hours since her arrest outside LAX, her wrists raw from cuffs, her navy suit wrinkled from a night in a downtown cell. She's arraigned on Captain Victor Grayson's assault charge, a felony born from his mid-flight shove twisted into her attack on him. The courtroom's half full, a mix of reporters, gawkers, and a few protesters from last night's airport. Chaos, their signs confiscated at the door. Her lawyer, Elise Tran, a scrappy ex-cop turned defender, stands beside her, her short black hair glinting under the fluorescent lights. Lena's exhausted, her shoulder throbbing, but her eyes burn with focus. She's free on bail, thanks to Jamal's quick cash, and she's got Tara's testimony simmering, but Grayson's lies loom large. This is her shot to fight back, and she's taking it. The judge, a wiry woman with gray curls and a no-nonsense stare, bangs her gavel, silencing the murmurs. Case number 81924, State versus Lena Carver, she intones, peering over her glasses. The prosecutor, a slick guy in a pinstripe suit named Voss, rises, his voice smooth as oil. Your Honor, the defendant assaulted Captain Victor Grayson. Mid-flight on American Airlines 819, causing panic and endangering passengers. We've got 2 witnesses, plus the captain's statement. Lena's stomach knots, but Elise leans in, whispering, We've got this. The judge nods to Voss. Proceed. He calls his first witness, a beefy white guy in a golf polo, mid-40s, who swears Grayson's tale. She lunged at him, screaming when he tried to calm her. The second, a pinched woman in a floral dress, echoes it, her voice trembling, for effect. I thought we'd crash because of her. Lena's fists clench under the table, her nails biting her palms. They're lying, bought and paid for, and she spots the connection before Voss finishes. Both wear pins from Grayson's golf club, a ritzy spot in Dallas she's seen in FAA files tied to airline brass. Elise catches it too, her eyes narrowing. She stands, her 5'2" frame radiating grit. Your Honor, permission to cross-examine? The judge nods, and Elise pounces. Mr. Daniels, she says to the guy. You're a member of Pinewood Golf Club, correct? He blinks. Caught. Yeah. And you, Mrs. Hale? The woman nods, flustered. Same club where Captain Grayson's a fixture, right? Voss objects. Relevance? But Elise barrels on. They're his cronies, Your Honor, coached to lie. The judge leans forward, intrigued, as Elise pulls a photo from her briefcase, a grainy shot of Grayson, Daniels, and Hale at a club event, laughing over beers. Obtained legally via public records, she adds, sliding it to the bench. The courtroom buzzes, reporters scribbling, and Lena's pulse quickens. Elise is a bulldog, tearing Grayson's setup apart. She calls Tara next. The flight attendant stepping up, her hands twisting, her voice shaky but clear. He shoved her, Tara says, pointing at Lena. She warned him about the wing. He ignored it, then blamed her. Voss tries to rattle. You're new, easily confused. But Tara holds firm. I saw what I saw. Lena's turn comes and she stands, her voice steady despite the ache in her chest. I'm an FAA consultant, aerospace engineer. I reported a flap failure. He dismissed me with racial slurs, shoved me when I pressed. He's covering his negligence. She lays out her creds, MIT degree, 10 years grounding sloppy planes, and the judge listens, her pen tapping. Voss smirks, but it's weaker now, his witnesses crumbling. The judge calls a recess, 10 minutes that stretch like hours. Lena pacing with Elise in a side room, the air thick with coffee and tension. We've got him, Elise says, cracking her knuckles. Those golf buddies tanked it. Lena nods. Hope flickering, but her gut warns her. Grayson's too slippery. The gavel bangs again and the judge returns, her face unreadable. Based on conflicting testimony and evidence of bias, she says, I'm dismissing the assault charge. Insufficient grounds. The room erupts, cheers from the back, Voss slumping, and Lena exhales, her knees weak. Freedom, a win, her name cleared. Elise grins, clapping her back, and Lena feels the weight lift, the cells clang, fading. She's out. She's whole, or so she thinks. She steps into the courthouse hall, the marble cool under her heels. Reporters swarming, but Elise waving them off. Statement later, she snaps, guiding Lena to the exit. The sun blazes outside, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. LA's sprawl shimmering beyond the steps. Lena's elated, her mind already on Jamal's dig into Grayson's record, Tara's courage. The X-storm still raging. She's beaten his lie, exposed his crew, and she's ready to breathe. But then it hits, a process server in a cheap suit darting from the crowd, slapping a thick envelope into her hands. Lena Carver, you've been served, he says, vanishing as fast as he came. She rips it open, her breath catching. A defamation lawsuit from Grayson. $5 million demanded, claiming she slandered his spotless career. Her victory sours, her chest tightening again. The papers detail his spin. Lena Carver, disgruntled passenger, fabricated lies to ruin a veteran pilot. Attached is a press release from his lawyer, a shark named Cutler, tied to American Airlines execs. She's a fraud, it reads, destroying a hero. Lena's head spins, her win unraveling as cameras flash, reporters shouting, Miss Carver, response? She shoves the papers at Elise, who scans them, her jaw dropping. He's counterattacking, Elise says, and they've leaked it already. Lena checks her phone, X exploding with Cutler's smear. FAA wannabe tanks pilot's life. Her suspension's hinted at, her credibility torched overnight. She's free from jail, but Grayson's hit her harder, a financial and public gut punch she didn't see coming. She stands there, the sun beating down, her suit sticking to her skin, the crowd's noise a dull roar. Elise grabs her arm, pulling her toward a cab. We'll fight it, she says, her voice fierce. He's desperate. Lena nods, numb, the papers crumpling in her fist. $5 million? She's got savings, but not that. And her FAA gigs, shaky now. Grayson's not just after money, he's after her soul, her name, everything she's built. She slides into the cab, the leather hot against her thighs, and stares out the window as LA blurs past. She beat the assault rap, thought she'd won, but he's flipped it, a masterstroke of revenge. Her phone buzzes, Jamal's text. Found dirt, Grayson's got crash cover-ups, call me. Hope flickers again, faint but real. She's down, bruised, but not out. Across town, Grayson sits in a diner, a greasy spoon off the freeway, his pilot's cap on the table, a coffee steaming in his hands. Cutler's with him, a wiry guy in a $1,000 suit, grinning like a fox. Lawsuits. Gold, Cutler says, sipping an espresso. She'll buckle or she'll bleed cash fighting it. Grayson chuckles, his gray stubble catching the light. Told you she'd pay, he says, his voice low, triumphant. He's humiliated from the flight, stung by the dismissal, but this is checkmate, or so he thinks. The press is eating it up, his hero narrative spreading, and Lena's the villain now. He leans back, savoring it, oblivious to Jamal's digging, Tara's resolve, the storm brewing. He's ahead, 5 million steps ahead, and he's loving every second. Lena's cab rolls through traffic, her mind churning. She's got Jamal's lead, Elise's grit, but Grayson's lawsuit is a beast, a new cage tighter than any cell. She beat one trap, only to land in another, and it's worse, a slow bleed she can't outrun. Her shoulder aches, her chest burns, but her eyes harden. He thinks she'll fold. He's wrong. She's fought bigger monsters, and she'll fight this one too. The cab stops at her hotel, the day stretching ahead, and she steps out, the papers heavy in her hand. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. Lena Carver slumps in her Los Angeles hotel room, the air conditioning humming at a steady 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the clock on the nightstand glowing 3 p.m. It's been 5 hours since Captain Victor Grayson's defamation lawsuit slammed into her life outside the courthouse, a $5 million dagger aimed at her name and bank account. Her navy suit hangs crumpled over a chair, her shoulder still aching from his mid-flight shove, her chest bruised but her resolve unbowed. She's on her laptop, the screen a battlefield of tabloid headlines. FAA fraud or flight felon, screams one. Hero pilot sues crazy passenger, blares another. Grayson's allies have unleashed a torrent on X, doctored clips from Flight 8119 showing her lunging at him, her face twisted in grainy rage. The posts explode, thousands of likes, comments like, "She's a liar," and "Poor captain," flooding her feed. Her phone buzzes nonstop, Jamal's texts buried under hate mail, her FAA suspension confirmed in a curt email. Pending review. She's bleeding cash on legal fees, her savings dwindling, and now this, her reputation torched overnight. She rubs her temples, the hotel's beige walls closing in, the distant roar of LA traffic filtering through the window. She's a ghost. Online, her 50,000 followers split, some defending her, others turning with the tide. Grayson's lawyer, Cutler, a slick airline crony, has fed the press a feast. Lena Carver's a fraud, a wannabe who trashed a veteran pilot's life. The wrench, the assault lie, the wing failure she flagged, all twisted into her scheme. She's not just fighting a lawsuit now, she's fighting a mob, and it's winning. Her suspension cuts deep, her FAA gig her lifeline, and without it, she's adrift. She slams the laptop shut, her hands shaking, and paces the room, her heels sinking into the carpet. She's got Elise, her lawyer, prepping a countersuit, but it's slow, and this storm's fast. A hurricane she can't outrun. She needs a move, something big, and she needs it now. Her phone pings, a text from Claire, a reporter she met at an aerospace conference last year, a tenacious 30-something with a knack for breaking scandals. Heard about Grayson's suit, it reads. Got dirt? Lena's pulse quickens, her fingers flying. Yeah, safety violations, cover-ups. Call me. 2 minutes later, Claire's on the line, her voice crisp. Spill it, Lena. I'll run it. Lena exhales, laying it out. Grayson's mid-flight negligence, the wing panel she spotted, his racist slurs, the shove, the wrench plant. Jamal's digging his record, she adds. Crash cover-ups, ignored complaints. Claire whistles, low and sharp. This is gold. Give me 12 hours. Lena hangs up, a flicker of hope igniting. She's not just defending now, she's attacking, and it feels good. The story breaks at midnight, Claire's byline blazing. Across a major outlet, pilot sued FAA consultant, but his safety record's a wreck. It's brutal, detailed, citing Jamal's fines. A near miss in Ohio 3 years ago, a hydraulic failure Grayson blamed on weather, a dozen passenger complaints of racism swept under the rug. X flips, the tide shifting. Troy Grayson exposed, trending as the article racks up views. Lena's hotel TV blares the news, a pundit reading the headline, and she smiles, thin but real. The FAA calls an hour later, a gruff voice. We're probing his license thanks to you. She's turned it, or thinks she has, the smear fading. Grayson's career teetering. She sinks onto the bed, the mattress creaking, her eyes heavy. It's a win, a big one, and she lets herself believe it's enough. She's wrong. At 2 a.m., the hotel room door rattles, a faint creak snapping her awake. She bolts upright, her heart pounding, the room dark save for the TV's glow. Footsteps shuffle outside, heavy, deliberate, then a crash, the door splintering as two figures burst. In, she leaps up, her bare feet hitting the carpet, but they're fast, gloved hands smashing her laptop, flipping the dresser, glass shattering as the lamp hits the floor. Go back to where you came from, one snarls, his voice muffled by a ski mask, scrawling the words in red marker across the wall. The other grabs her satchel, ripping it open, papers flying. She lunges, grabbing a chair, swinging it wild, but they dodge, bolting out as fast as they came. She stumbles to the door, her breath ragged, and catches a glimpse. A man in a pilot's jacket vanishing down the hall. She collapses against the wall, her knees buckling, the room a wreck, her papers strewn like confetti. The marker drips, the words glaring, a racist gut punch that steals her air. Grayson's behind this, she knows it. His fingerprints invisible but screaming. A neighbor, A wiry guy in pajamas pokes his head out, eyes wide. "Saw a pilot-looking dude run off," he says, dialing 911. Cops arrive at 2:30, two tired officers taking her statement, dusting for prints. But she sees there, shrugs. "No cameras here," one mutters. "Could be random." It's not, and they know it, but they won't push. She's alone again by 3 a.m. The room trashed, her victory gutted. Grayson's not just suing, he's terrorizing, and he's winning. She sits on the bed, her hands trembling, the neighbor's words echoing. Pilot's jacket. It's him, or his goons, a message she can't ignore. Her phone's intact, buzzing with Claire's text. Story's huge, FAA's all over Grayson. It's not enough, not now. She's exposed him, dented his career, but he's escalated, turned her hotel into a war zone. She pulls her knees up, her mind racing. She's got no proof, just a hunch, and the cops won't care. Her savings are bleeding, her FAA gig's shaky, and now her safety's gone, shredded like the room. She's fought racism before, subtle cuts in boardrooms, but this is raw, violent, a beast she can't outsmart yet. She needs more, a shield, a weapon, something to hit back harder. Across LA, Grayson sits in a dive bar, a neon sign flickering. Outside, the air thick with smoke and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. He's with Holt, the operations supervisor, both nursing beers, the TV muted on Claire's story. "She's tough," Holt says, swirling his bottle. "That article's bad." Grayson's grin is cold, his gray stubble glinting. "Tough don't matter," he says, his voice a growl. "She's scared now, she'll break." He sent his message, the break-in a warning, his buddies from the ground crew eager to please. The lawsuit's rolling, the press still half on his side, and Lena's on the ropes. He's humiliated from the flight, stung by the courtroom loss, but this feels good. Control slipping back into his hands. He's wrong, though, underestimating her fire. Jamal's dirt. Claire's reach. The bar's clock ticks toward 4 a.m., and he downs his beer, savoring the chaos he's unleashed. Lena stands, her bare feet crunching glass, and grabs her phone, texting Elise. "Room trashed. Grayson's work. Need you." She's not sleeping. Not tonight. Her eyes scanning the wreckage. The article's a win, his license is probed, but this attack's personal, a line crossed she can't unsee. She's got no proof, just a neighbor's word, and the cops are useless, but her resolve hardens. She's down, her hotel a crime scene, her name a punching bag, but she's not out. She's fought bigger storms, and Grayson's just made it personal. She picks up a torn paper, her FAA notes, and clenches it, her jaw tight. He thinks he's broken her? He's about to see what she's made of. The night drags on. LA's. Lights pulsing outside, and she's ready, or thinks she is, for the next blow. Lena Carver stands amid the wreckage of her Los Angeles hotel room, the air still at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The clock on the nightstand shattered at 3:15 a.m. Glass crunches under her bare feet. The red marker scrawl, "Go back." To where you came from, dripping down the wall, a racist scar left by Captain Victor Grayson's goons an hour ago. Her Navy suit's in tatters, her shoulder screams from his mid-flight shove days back, and her savings are hemorrhaging from his $5 million defamation suit. Claire's article hit hard last night, exposing Grayson's safety violations, grounding his license for an FAA probe, but this break-in's his answer. A violent shove back into her face. She's got no proof it's him, just a neighbor's glimpse of a pilot's jacket, and the cops shrugged it off, leaving her alone, in this trashed shell. Her phone buzzes, Elise's reply, "On my way." Lena's not waiting, though. She's not safe here, not with Grayson's rage unleashed. She grabs her intact phone, a spare hoodie from her bag's remains, and bolts. She's out the door. By 3:30 a.m., LA's streets quiet, save for the hum of distant traffic, the air cooling to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Her friend Mia, a mechanic from her MIT days, lives in a cabin 200 miles east in Nevada, a dusty hideout off the grid. Lena calls her, voice low. "Need a spot now. Trouble's bad." Mia's groggy but firm. "Come. I've got you." Lena flags a cab 3 blocks from the hotel, her hoodie up, her eyes scanning for tails. The driver, A grizzled guy with a beard barely glances at her, grunting. "Where to?" She gives a vague east, paying cash, no trace. The cab rolls, LA's lights fading, and she exhales, her mind churning. Grayson's grounded, Claire's story's viral. She's won a round, but this attack's a new beast, a threat she can't fight from a courtroom. She's running, a fugitive in her own life, and it stings. The cab drops her at a gas station near Barstow, 90 miles out. The desert stretching dark and endless, the air dipping to 58 degrees Fahrenheit. She hitchhikes from there, a trucker named Sal, a burly guy with a CB radio, picking her up. "Headed to Vegas," he says, eyeing her hoodie. "Close enough," she replies, climbing in. The ride's quiet, Sal's country tunes crackling, and she lets herself relax, the miles piling up. By 6 a.m., she's at Mia's cabin, a weathered shack off a dirt road near Searchlight, Nevada. The sun creeping up, the temp climbing to 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Mia's there, wiry and tough, her braids pulled back, her wrench-scarred hands offering coffee. "You look like hell," she says, and Lena laughs, bitter but real. "Feel it too." She crashes on Mia's couch, the article still trending on her phone, Grayson's license officially suspended. She's safe, she thinks, sipping the brew, her eyes heavy. Victory's close, a fragile thread she clings to. She's wrong. Grayson's not done, not by miles. He's hired Ray, a PI and ex-cop, a lean guy with a buzz cut and a rap sheet Grayson knows from his Dallas days. Ray's tractor, a burner phone ping from the cab's route, a favor from a cop pal pinning her east. By 11 p.m., 2 nights later, Mia's cabin glows in the Nevada dark, 70 degrees Fahrenheit inside. The desert silent. Lena's asleep, her phone charging, when Ray strikes. He douses the porch with gas, a match flaring, and the flames roar up, licking the wooden walls. Lena jolts awake, smoke stinging her lungs, the heat blasting her face. She scrambles, grabbing her phone, her hoodie, as Mia yells, "Out the back!" They crash through a window, glass slicing Lena's arm, her blood hot and slick. The cabin's an inferno, orange tongues devouring it, and Ray's gone, his truck peeling into the night. They stumble into the desert, 200 yards out, the fire lighting the sky, Mia cursing, Lena's arm bleeding through her sleeve. "He found me," she gasps, her voice raw, the realization sinking in. Grayson's not just suing, he's hunting, and this is attempted murder. Mia flags a passing car, a rattled couple calling 911, and Lena hitchhikes again, a pickup to Vegas, 30 miles north, her mind a storm. She's at a diner by 1 a.m., the air at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, her arm bandaged with napkins, her hoodie singed. She checks X. The fires hit local news. Cabin blaze, arson suspected. Then the twist. A Vegas paper's headline. Wanted. FAA consultant linked to arson. Her face stares back. A blurry hotel shot. Grayson's spin claiming she torched Mia's place to frame him. She's a fugitive now, hunted, her win flipped into a nightmare. She downs coffee, the diner's neon buzzing, her hands shaking but her resolve stealing. Grayson's escalated, turned her refuge into ashes, and the cops are buying his lie. She's got no ID, no cash beyond $20, her satchel lost in LA. Mia's safe with the couple, but Lena's alone, a target with no shield. She's beaten his license, dented his career, but he's made her the villain, a wanted woman on the run. Her phone's low, 1 bar, and she texts Elise. Arson, Grayson's frame, Vegas, need help. She's got Claire's article, Jamal's, dirt, but this is bigger. A manhunt she can't outrun without a plan. The diner's clock ticks to 2 a.m., Vegas glowing beyond the window, and she's cornered, her breath steadying. He thinks he's won. She's still breathing, still fighting. In LA, Grayson paces a motel room, the air at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Holt sprawled on a chair, a beer in hand. Ray did it, Holt says, grinning. She's running scared. Grayson nods, his gray eyes glinting. Arson raps. Perfect, she's finished. He's humiliated, his license gone, but this feels better. Lena chased like a dog. The lawsuit's rolling, the press half believing she's unhinged, and Ray's fires the cherry on top. He's wrong, though. Her fire's not out. Jamal's digging deeper. Claire's sniffing the arson. He lights a cigarette, the smoke curling, and savors the chaos, blind to the storm she's brewing. The night drags, Vegas and LA worlds apart, and he's king again, or thinks he is. Lena sits in the diner, her coffee cold, her arm throbbing, the wanted headline glaring from her phone. She's a fugitive, her win ashes, but her eyes harden. She's fought worse, survived worse, and Grayson's pushed too far. She's got Mia's word, the couple's call, a thread to pull. The diner's quiet, the waitress eyeing her, and she stands, her shadow long. She's running but not broken, and he'll see that soon. Hey folks, what's your gut on this? Comment number 1 if you're raging at Grayson's arson twist. Number 2 if you're cheering Lena's grit to keep fighting. Is she crazy to run, or smart to dodge this trap? Hit like if you're hooked on her comeback. Subscribe for the next blow. Grayson's turned her into a wanted woman, but can she flip this hunt back on him? What's her next dodge gonna be? Lena Carver hunkers in a grimy Vegas motel room, the air stagnant at 78 degrees Fahrenheit, the neon glow of the strip seeping through cracked blinds at 3 a.m. It's been 24 hours since Captain Victor Grayson's PI torched Mia's Nevada cabin, framing her as an arsonist, her face now plastered on wanted posters across the state, her arms bandaged with diner napkins, a shallow gash from the escape window throbbing, her singed hoodie reeking of smoke. She's dyed her hair jet black with a $10 kit, her reflection in the chipped mirror, a stranger's, her savings, down to $15 after the motel fee. She's a fugitive, hunted, but alive, her burner phone, her lifeline. She's hacked Grayson's email via a library laptop earlier, her MIT-honed skills cracking his weak password, his dog's name. Predictable. The proof's there, a thread to Ray. Burn her out, pin it. She sent it to the FAA, Jamal confirming receipt at 2 a.m. Hearings expedited, license revoked. She's elated, lying on the lumpy bed thinking it's over. Grayson's, career ashes like Mia's cabin. She's wrong. The motel door explodes inward at 3:15 a.m., wood splintering, and Grayson storms in, a .38 revolver in his meaty hand, his pilot's uniform swapped for a black jacket, his gray stubble, glinting in the dim light. His eyes are wild, rage boiling over, his license gone, his world crumbling. "You bitch!" he snarls, leveling the gun at her chest, 10 feet away. Lena rolls off the bed, heart slamming, the mattress a flimsy shield as she hits the floor. "You're done!" she snaps, her voice steady despite the terror clawing her gut. He fires, the shot deafening, the bullet grazing her arm, a hot streak of pain ripping through her bandage. She scrambles, grabbing a chipped ceramic lamp from the nightstand, its cord yanking free as she hurls it. It smashes into his wrist, the gun clattering to the carpet, and he roars, lunging at her, his bulk a freight train. She ducks, adrenaline surging, and swings the lamp's base again, cracking it against his knee. He stumbles, cursing, and she dives for the gun, her fingers closing around the grip, slick with sweat. She spins, pointing it at him, her hands shaking but her aim true. "Back off," she growls, her voice a blade, the barrel steady on his chest. He freezes, his breath ragged, his face a mask of hate. "You think you've won?" he spits, blood trickling from his wrist. "They'll bury you." She doesn't flinch, her mind racing. He's here, armed, unhinged, a corrupt cop tipping him off from her library login, she's sure. Sirens wail outside, distant but closing. The motel's night clerk likely spooked by the shot. "You're the one buried," she says, nodding at the gun. "License gone, now this? You're cooked." He lunges again, a desperate grab, and she sidesteps, slamming the gun's butt into his temple. He drops, a heap on the stained carpet, groaning, out cold. She staggers back, her arm bleeding fresh, her chest heaving, the gun heavy in her hand. The sirens scream closer, red and blue flashing through the blinds, and she tosses the weapon aside, raising her hands as cops burst in, 2 beefy guys with drawn pistols. "He attacked me," she says, her voice raw, pointing at Grayson. "I've got proof, his emails." They cuff him, his head lolling, and one cop, a wiry woman with a buzz cut, eyes her warily. "You're wanted, Carver," she says, pulling cuffs for her too. Lena shakes her head. "Check the FAA, it's self-defense." They hesitate, radios crackling, and haul Grayson out, his limp form of victory she can't savor. She's uncuffed, the woman cop calling it in, confirming Grayson's revocation, the emails hitting their system. Lena sinks against the wall, her arm dripping, the room a war zone, lamp shards and bullet holes marking her stand. She's won, his career's dust, but the cops linger, her wanted status murky. By 4 a.m., they clear her, a grudging, "You're free." But she's not safe. Grayson's hauled to lockup, snarling as he wakes, and she's left in the wrecked room. Her phone buzzing, "Elise, he's down, stay low." She nods to herself, relief fleeting, when a text from Jamal hits. Airline bailed him, he's out in hours. Her stomach drops, the win unraveling. He's got execs, deep pockets, and she's still a target, bleeding in a Vegas dive. She wraps her arm tighter, the napkin soaked, and slips out, the desert air at 60 degrees Fahrenheit biting her skin. She's got no cash, no refuge. Grayson's out soon, and she's exposed. The FAA's got her back. His license is toast, but he's a cornered animal, and they've freed him. She hobbles to a bus stop, her hoodie up, the strip's lights mocking her from a mile away. She's beaten him again, disarmed him, but he's not done. His allies too strong. Her phones. At 10%, her mind spinning. She's got the emails, Claire's story, Jamal's dirt. But this is war now, and she's outgunned. She boards a bus, the driver barely glancing, and sinks into a seat, her arm pulsing, her eyes hard. He's coming, and she's ready, or thinks she is. In LA, Grayson's in a holding cell, his temple bruised, his wrist swelling. The air at 72 degrees Fahrenheit thick with sweat and disinfectant. Holt's on the phone, airline execs pulling strings, and by 5 a.m., he's bailed. A crisp $1,000 from a VP's pocket springing him. He limps out, his jacket torn, his grin gone, replaced by a snarl. "She's dead," he mutters, Holt nodding. "We'll get her." The execs are spooked. Claire's article a PR nightmare, the FAA probe a guillotine. But they've got his back, his 20,000 hours their shield. He's humiliated, his gun lost, his career rubble. But this isn't over. He's got cash, connections, and a rage that won't quit. The Vegas night fades, dawn creeping, and he's free, plotting, blind to Lena's fire, her next move simmering. Lena's bus rumbles south, her arm a dull ache, her mind a steel trap. She's got no safe house, no cash, but she's got proof. Grayson's emails a noose tightening. She's beaten him in Vegas, turned his attack into his fall. But he's out, his exec's a shadow army. She's a fugitive no more, the arson lie cracking, but she's exposed. A lone woman against a machine. Her phone dies, the screen black, and she stares out the window, the desert blurring past. She's won this round, his license revoked, his assault foiled, but it's not enough. He's loose, and she's running, her breath steadying. She's fought bigger battles, and this one's personal now. The bus rolls on, dawn breaking, and she clenches her fist, her resolve iron. He thinks she's finished? He's about to see her rise. Lena Carver crashes at a Elise Trans San Diego apartment, 300 miles south of Vegas. The air a steady 74 degrees Fahrenheit, the clock on the kitchen wall ticking past 6 p.m. It's been 12 hours since Captain Victor. Grayson's gun grazed her arm in that motel showdown, her bandage now a proper gauze wrap from Elise's first aid kit, the pain a dull throb beneath her borrowed sweatshirt. She's off the bus, her cash gone, her phone dead, but safe, or so she thinks, in this cluttered hideout, books and case files stacked high. Elise, her scrappy ex-cop lawyer, brews coffee, her short hair damp from a shower, her eyes sharp, despite the long day. Lena's Vegas win, Grayson's license revoked, his emails to Ray exposing the arson, has the FAA buzzing, and she sent them everything via Elise's laptop. Proof of his attack, his threats, his negligence on Flight 819. She's beaten him again, or believes she has. Her breath steadying as the coffee's aroma fills the room. Elise slides a mug over, her voice low. FAA's auditing American Airlines now. Your stuff's gold. Lena nods, sipping the brew, her arm stiff, but her mind racing. Grayson's out on bail, airline execs shielding him, but her evidence is a battering ram, cracking their wall. She's got Claire's article, Jamal's dirt on his crash cover-ups, Tara's mid-flight testimony, and now this, a direct line to his crimes. The FAA's call comes at 7 p.m., a gruff official named Torres. We're pulling flight logs, Grayson's done and the airline's next. Lena's reinstated, her suspension lifted, a lifeline snapped back into place. She exhales, her shoulders easing, the weight of days, LAX detention, the lawsuit, the arson, slipping off. She's testifying tomorrow. A video link from Elise's setup, and she's ready. Her notes spread across the table, her resolve ironclad. The testimony hits at 9 a.m. Lena on screen, her voice steady, her sweatshirt swapped for a crisp. Blouse Elise dug up. Torres and 3 suits listen, their faces stern, as she lays it out. Grayson's racism on the flight, the wing failure he ignored, the shove, the wrench plant, the lawsuit, the break-in, the arson, the Vegas attack. She uploads the emails, raise orders, Jamal's files, a mountain of proof no one can dodge. He's not just a pilot, she says. He's a cog in a machine, execs covering his mess. Torres nods, his pen tapping, and by 10:30, it's over. The FAA promising action. At noon, the news breaks. American Airlines fined $10 million. Execs linked to Grayson scrambling, their PR in flames. Lena's back, her name cleared, her career soaring, and she sinks into Elise's couch, a rare smile tugging her lips. She's won, big, or thinks she has. She's wrong. The execs aren't folding, they're fighting, and Grayson's their spear. By 8 p.m., San Diego's dusk settles, 70 degrees Fahrenheit outside. The apartment quiet save for Elise's. TV humming local news. Lena's dozing, her arm bandaged tight when the execs strike. They've hired a hitman, a wiry guy named Vance, ex-military with a silenced blade, framing it as a random mugging. He slips into the alley behind Elise's building, his boots silent on the pavement, spotting Lena through the kitchen window as she grabs water. Elise is in the shower, the hum masking his approach, and he moves, jimmying the back door with a flick of his knife, the lock popping soft. Lena's at the sink, her back to him when he lunges, the blade flashing, sinking into her side, a hot, searing pain exploding through her ribs. She screams, dropping the glass, shattering on the tile, and twists, her good arm swinging a wild punch. It clips his jaw, staggering him, and she stumbles back, blood soaking her sweatshirt, her vision blurring. Vance recovers, his eyes cold, and swings again, the knife slicing air as she ducks, crashing into the table, papers flying. Elise bursts from the bathroom, towel-clad, a baseball bat in hand, yelling, "Get off her!" She swings, cracking Vance's shoulder, and he grunts, bolting out the door as fast as he came. Lena collapses, her side gushing, her breath shallow, and Elise drops the bat, dialing 911, her hands pressing the wound. "Stay with me," she pleads, her voice breaking, and Lena nods, fading, the room spinning. A passerby, a kid, on a skateboard hears the commotion calling for help and sirens wail closing in. She's alive, barely, rushed to UC San Diego Medical Center. The ER a blur of white coats and beeping machines, the air chilled to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Surgeons stitch her up, a 6-inch gash missing her kidney by an inch, her blood, loss critical but stemmed. She wakes at midnight, groggy, an IV in her arm. Elise at her bedside, her face pale. "He's gone," Elise says. "Cops lost him." Lena's throat's dry, her side afire, but her mind clicks. "Grayson's execs," she croaks. They're scared. The TV flickers, a breaking story. Grayson vanished, skipped bail. Her win, the fine, the audit, has spooked them, pushed them to kill, and he's fled, a ghost in the wind. She's alive, victorious, but exposed. The hit a warning she can't ignore. Elise grips her hand, her knuckles white. FAA's got your back, airlines reeling, but this? She shakes her head, fear in her eyes. Lena stares at the ceiling, the antiseptic sting in her nose, her breath steadying. She's toppled their corruption, $10 million bleeding. From their coffers, her reinstatement a slap to their face, but they've hit back. A blade in her gut. She's got no proof it's them, just a hunch. And Grayson's gone. His strings pulled from shadows. Her phone's dead. Her cash nil. But she's got Elise, Jamal, Claire, a network holding her up. The fine's a win. The audit's a hammer. But this attack's a war cry. And she's the target, stitched up but unbroken. In Vegas, Grayson holes up in a seedy motel, 200 miles north, the air at 76 degrees Fahrenheit. His temple bruised from Lena's gun butt. His wrist, swollen. He's off bail, exec's cash greasing his escape, a burner phone his link to Holt. She's alive, Holt texts. Hitman botched it. Grayson curses, hurling the phone, his rage a furnace. His license is dust, the airline's fined. His career's rubble and Lena's still breathing, her testimony a noose he can't slip. The execs are spooked, their cover-up cracking, but they've got his back, their money his lifeline. He's a fugitive, hunted, but he's not done. Plotting from the dark, blind to her resilience, her next strike brewing. The motel's neon, buzzes, dawn hours away, and he paces, his snarl a promise of more. Lena lies in the hospital bed, her side stitched, her arm bandaged, the monitor beeping steady. She's won big, the airline's bleeding, Grayson's vanished, but the hit's a scar. A reminder they'll kill to silence her. Elise dozes in a chair, her bat by the door, and Lena stares out the window. San Diego's lights faint beyond the glass. She's toppled a giant $10 million a wound they can't heal, but they've drawn blood, her blood, and he's loose. She's got no safe house, no cash, but her mind's a steel trap, plotting. She's fought worse, survived worse, and this won't break her. The night stretches, her breath slow, and she clenches her fist, her resolve iron. They think she's down? She's just getting started. Lena Carver lies in a guarded hospital room at UC San Diego Medical Center, the air chilled to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, the clock on the wall ticking past 1 a.m. It's been 24 hours since the hitman's knife sank into her. Side, a 6-inch gash stitched tight, her grazed arm rebandaged, her body a map of pain from Captain Victor Grayson's war. The room's stark white walls and beeping monitors her cage, a uniformed cop outside the door, his radio crackling low. Her sweatshirt's gone, replaced by a thin gown, her breath shallow but steady. Elise Tran dozing in a chair, her baseball, bat propped nearby. The TV hums muted, flashing her victory. Grayson's a pariah, his license revoked. American Airlines fined $10 million. Her name trending on X as a hero. The FAA's offered her a promotion, lead auditor, a call. From Torres at noon sealing it. She's beaten him or thinks she has, her eyes heavy, a weak smile tugging her lips as sleep pulls her under. She's wrong. Grayson's not done, not while he breathes. He's a fugitive, 200 miles north in Vegas, bailed by execs, but he slipped their leash, his rage a wildfire. By 2 a.m., he's in San Diego, a stolen janitor's uniform, gray scrubs, a cap pulled low, his ticket past the cop. He's shaved his stubble, a crude disguise, his bruised temple throbbing from her Vegas blow, his wrist swollen but ignored. He's got a syringe, pilfered from a clinic, loaded with potassium chloride, a silent killer masked as a heart attack. The hospital's night shift is thin, corridors dim, and he moves, a shadow among shadows, his boots silent on the tile. The cop outside Lena's room yawns, his back to the hall, and Grayson slips in, the door creaking soft, his breath held as Elise stirs, but doesn't wake. Lena's asleep, her chest rising slow, the IV line snaking from her arm to a drip bag. He looms over her, his eyes glinting, a snarl twisting his lips. "You should have stayed down," he mutters, uncapping the syringe, the needle gleaming. He's lost everything, his career, his pride, his freedom, and she's the why, a black woman who dared defy him. He jams the needle into the IV port, his thumb on the plunger, and pushes, the poison seeping in, a cold flood she doesn't feel. Her monitor beeps faster, erratic, her breath hitching, and he steps back, savoring it. Her death his last win, but fate's not his. A nurse, a young woman with braids and a clipboard, enters, her gasp sharp as she spots him. "Hey!" she yells, dropping the board, lunging for the call button. Grayson bolts, the syringe clattering. The nurses shout, waking Elise, who leaps up, bat in hand, yelling, "Lena!" The cop bursts in, gun drawn, as Grayson shoves past, sprinting down the hall, alarms blaring. Lena flatlines, the monitor a piercing wail, her body seizing, foam at her lips. Elise screams, "Help her!" and the nurse hits the crash cart, doctors flooding in, a chaos of white coats and defibrillators. They rip the IV, pump epinephrine, shock her chest. 3 agonizing minutes of flat nothing. Grayson's gone, lost in the maze of corridors. The cop chasing, but too slow. Lena's heart kicks, a weak blip, then steady. The doc's exhaling. She's back. Elise collapses, tears streaking, her bat useless now. And Lena's alive, barely, her eyes fluttering open, dazed, the poison's edge dulled. By 3 a.m., the hospital's locked down, cops swarming. But Grayson slipped out, a ghost in the night. Lena's stable, her vitals creeping up, her side aching, her arm numb. The TV flickers, unmuted now, a reporter's voice cutting through. Grayson caught, life in prison. Cops nabbed him 2 blocks away, a patrol spotting his stolen scrubs. His fight gone, cuffed and snarling in a squad car. Lena smiles, faint but real, her breath ragged. He's down, finally, a life sentence locking him away. His exec's cash useless now. She's won, her body broken but her spirit whole. The promotion hers, the airline bleeding, Grayson's rain dust. She closes her eyes, relief washing over, thinking it's over. The war ended with his cage. She's wrong again. At 3:30 a.m., a brick smashes through her hospital window, glass raining, the cop outside yelling, "What the hell?" Lena jolts, pain flaring, Elise diving for cover, the shards slicing her arm. A note's tied to it, scrawled in black ink, "You'll pay." The cop grabs it, radioing backup, his face pale, but the thrower's gone, a shadow in the dark. Lena stares, her heart pounding, the wind souring fast. Grayson's locked up, but this isn't him. It's someone else, his network, his allies striking from the void. Her victory's a target, her life still a battlefield, and she's trapped, stitched and weak, no shield, but her will. Elise grabs the note, her hands shaking, reading it aloud, her voice tight. "They're not done," she says, meeting Lena's eyes, fear mingling with fury. The cop calls it in, possible accomplice, but Lena knows it's deeper, a web she's barely scratched. The FAA's win, the fine, her promotion, they've enraged a beast, execs or cronies or both, and Grayson's fall's just fuel. She's alive, he's caged, but the brick's a promise, a new war dawning. Nurses rush in, sweeping glass, upping her guard, but she's exposed, her breath shallow, her mind racing. She's got no phone, no cash, just Elise and a bat, and the enemy's faceless, relentless. In LA, Grayson sits in a cell, 250 miles north, the air at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, his wrists cuffed, his temple a dull ache. He's caught, life stretching ahead in bars, his exec silent, his fight snuffed. He grins though, a twisted thing, knowing the brick's flown, his brother, a cop named Paul, stepping up. Paul's loyal, bitter and free, a shadow Grayson's primed from jail. The execs are quiet, but Paul's not. The note his vow, Lena's win a taunt he'll answer. Grayson's down, his gun and syringe failures, but he's planted a seed, blind to her grit, her next stand brewing. The cell's cold, dawn creeping, and he leans back, smug, the game alive. Lena lies still, glass glinting around her, the monitor steady, her side afire, her arm numb. The cop paces, Elise grips the bat, and she stares at the note. "You'll pay," a chill sinking in. She's beaten Grayson, his career ashes, his freedom gone, but this brick's a curveball, a new player in his shadow. She's got the FAA, Elise, Jamal, Claire, a lifeline holding, but she's weak, her body a wreck, her safety a lie. The hospital hums, nurses whispering, and she clenches her fist, her jaw tight. She's won this round. Grayson's caged, but the war's not over, a fresh blade looming. She's fought hell, survived hell, and this won't break her. The night drags, San Diego's lights faint, and she's ready, or thinks she is, for the next hit. Lena Carver sits in a safe house in Portland, Oregon, 500 miles north of San Diego. The air a crisp 66 degrees Fahrenheit, the clock on the wall ticking past 7 p.m. It's been a week since Captain Victor Grayson's poison failed in her hospital room, her stitched side still tender, her grazed arm healing under a fresh bandage, her body a testament to survival. The safe house, a squat cabin tucked in pine woods, hums with FAA protection, 2 agents outside, their radios crackling low. She's in a borrowed flannel, her Navy suit long gone, sipping tea Elise brewed before heading back to San Diego. From the brick through her hospital window, its note, "You'll pay," lingers, a shadow cast by Grayson's allies. But she's alive. His life sentence sealed, the airline fined $10 million, her promotion to lead auditor locked in. She's won, her name a beacon on X, hailed as a hero who toppled a racist giant. She exhales, the tea warming her hands, thinking the war's done, the enemy broken. She's wrong, but not for long. The bricks traced by 9 p.m., FBI stepping in, a wiry agent named Kessler briefing her via video link. "Prince match Paul Grayson," he says, his voice clipped. "Victor's brother, a cop in L.A." Lena's pulse quickens, her tea cooling untouched. Paul, a burly 48-year-old with Victor's gray eyes, was fired yesterday, her report to the FAA citing his threats. His badge stripped after he tossed that brick. Kessler's team nabbed him in a dive bar, his snarl caught on body cam, his rant, "She ruined us," a confession tying him to Victor's vendetta. The execs are silent, their cover-up gutted by the $10 million fine, and Paul's arrest dismantles Victor's last line, his network crumbling. Lena's report, her testimony, her survival, they've shredded it all, and she leans back, the cabin's wood creaking, her smile faint, but real. She's beaten them, a clean sweep, or so she believes. By 10 p.m., the news hits, TV blaring. In the safe house, Grayson's brother fired, arrested, FAA hero prevails. X erupts, Lena wins trending, her 50,000 followers swelling to 70, her inbox flooded with praise from pilots, engineers, strangers. Torres calls at 10:30, his gruff voice warm. "You're spearheading reforms, Carver, new safety. Protocols, bias training, your task force starts Monday." She's lauded, her MIT brain now a weapon to reshape aviation. Her fight from Flight 8119 a spark that's burned the old guard down. She stands, pacing the cabin, the pine scent sharp, her side aching but her spirit soaring. Paul's caged, Victor's locked for life, the airline's reeling and she's on top. Her victory a fortress she's built from blood and grit. She's safe, 500 miles from the chaos, agents at her door, and she lets herself feel it, the win she's clawed for. She's wrong again, and the twist hits like a freight train. At 11 p.m., Jamal texts, urgent. "Found Grayson's prison letters, check email." She grabs her new phone, FAA issued, and opens it, her breath catching. Victor's scrawled, notes from lockup, smuggled out. Detail a nationwide pilot boycott. His final play from a cell 250 miles south. "She thinks she's won," he writes, "but we'll crash her world, ground every plane, bleed the industry dry." He's rallied pilots, old guard cronies bitter at her reforms, promising chaos. No flights till she's gone. Lena's jaw drops, her tea crashing to the floor, the mug shattering. The FAA's buzzing, Torres calling back. Reports of pilots walking out, 10% already, it's him. Her victory flips, a triumph turned trap. Her reforms the fuse for an industry implosion she never saw coming. She laughs, bitter and sharp, the cabin's warmth mocking her. She's beaten Grayson, his brother, his execs, grounded his career, fined his shield but he's flipped it. A masterstroke from bars. The boycott's real, X lighting up with our pilot strike, planes idling at gates, passengers stranded, her name cursed by some, praised by others. She's safe, agents outside, but the war's not over, it's morphed, a beast she's birthed by winning. Her promotion's a crown, her task force a sword. But this chaos is her shadow. Grayson's last laugh echoing from his cell. She sinks onto the couch, her side throbbing, her mind a steel trap. 10%'s a spark. It could grow, cripple, the skies, and she's the why, a black woman who dared rise now blamed for the fall. Elise calls at midnight, her voice tense from San Diego, 300 miles south, the air there 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Heard about the boycott, she says. You okay? Lena nods, though Elise can't see, her flannel sleeve, brushing her stitched side. Yeah, but it's bad. Elise curses. He's buried. How's he pulling this? Lena stares at the letters, scanned and stark on her screen. He's got loyalists, bitter pilots, they're his army. The FAA's scrambling, Torres texting. Meeting tomorrow, we fight this. She's got no cash, no old phone, just this safe house and her will, but she's not alone. Jamal, Claire, Elise, Torres, a net holding her up. The boycott's a curveball, a war she didn't plan, but she's fought worse, survived worse, and she'll fight this too. In LA, Grayson sits in his cell, 250 miles south. The air at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, his wrists cuffed, his temple a dull ache. He's caged, life stretching in concrete. Paul's arrest a sting, but his grin's back, twisted and smug. The letters worked, his pilot pals striking, 10% and climbing. The industry he loved bleeding because of her. He's lost everything, his wings, his freedom. But this feels good, a chaos she can't outfly. The execs are quiet. Paul's down, but his old guard's alive, bitter at her reforms, her rise, and he's their voice, blind to her fire, her next stand. The cell's dim, dawn far off, and he leans back, savoring the storm, a king in chains. Lena stands, the cabin's floor cold, her tea a puddle amid shards. She's got the FAA, her task force, her name a shield, but the boycott's a beast. Grayson's ghost haunting her win. She's beaten his network, Paul's badge gone, Victor's life locked, the airline fined, but this twist's a gut punch, her triumph a double-edged sword. She paces, her flannel swaying, her side a dull fire, and calls Torres back, her voice steady. I'm in, we stop this. He grunts. Good, you're the fix. She's on top, lead auditor, but trapped, a new war dawning, pilots grounding planes she's sworn to protect. Her phone glows, X a war zone, and she clenches her fist, her jaw tight. She's won, but it's not over, a fight she'll wage from the peak. The night drags, Portland's pines whispering outside, the agent's radio's a low hum. She's got no safe house beyond this, no cash, but her mind's a weapon, her allies a fortress. The boycott's 10%, a spark that could blaze, and she's the target, her reforms the fuel. She's beaten Grayson, his brother, his execs, but he's flipped her win into chaos, a parting shot from his cage. She sits, her tea gone, her eyes hard, and laughs again, low and fierce. He thinks she'll fall. She's risen from worse. LAX, the lawsuit, the fire, the knife, the poison. And this won't break her. She's lead auditor, a force. And she'll fight this beast, her victory a battleground she'll hold. The dawn looms, Oregon's woods dark, and she's ready, forever changed, for the war ahead. Lena Carver's harrowing journey in this story unveils profound lessons about resilience, systemic bias, and the cost of standing up to injustice. First, her relentless fight against Captain Victor Grayson's racism teaches us that courage isn't the absence of fear, but action despite it. Lena faced verbal assaults, physical attacks, and a rigged system, yet she never folded, proving that one voice can topple giants when armed with truth. Her MIT-honed intellect and FAA clout turned a seat dispute into a career-ending reckoning, showing how expertise can dismantle prejudice when wielded boldly. Second, the story exposes the ugly layers of institutional protection. Grayson's allies, execs, cops, even pilots, shielded him, revealing how deeply racism can root in power structures. Lena's victory, a $10 million fine, and Grayson's life sentence underscores that accountability demands persistence, not just outrage. Her near-death escapes from arson to a hospital poisoning highlight the personal toll of challenging such systems, a sobering reminder that justice often comes at a steep price. Finally, the twist, Grayson's boycott from prison, teaches us that victories are rarely final. Lena's triumph sparked a new war, a pilot strike threatening the skies she fought to save, showing how entrenched foes can strike back even when caged. It's a call to stay vigilant, to see beyond the win, to the next battle. What can we take from Lena's saga? Stand firm, wield your strengths, and brace for the fallout. So, what do you think? Could you face a Grayson in your life? Comment below, hit like if Lena's grit inspires you, subscribe for more tales of defiance, and share to spark this convo. Thanks for joining this wild ride. Here's to fearless spirits and skies free of bias.